y'all, it's Betsy with Happily Ever After Etc. and welcome back to another garden tour. So it is literally August and the garden has been looking really good, but also some things are a little bit tired. I've actually been gone for the last 2 weeks, so while some things are thriving, some things are dying. The weeds, as always, are doing excellent. So Mom and I actually spent half the day in the garden yesterday planting some new things that you may see, but we didn't really have time to plant and weed, although Mom always weeds at least a little bit. So we're going to be doing our garden tour today, and then if I have time, my goal is to get as many of the weeds out as possible, but it is a never-ending battle. So I guess we'll see in the September video how many of those weeds I got. So we're gonna start, as always, up at the arbor, head down to the cut flower garden and the shed, and then across the front to the shade. I'm excited to see how some of these things do that we planted yesterday. I got some fun things like porterweed and milkweed, Joe Pye weed, things that I haven't tried before, and then I'm wanting to see kind of how they do in the garden, kind of more exploratory experiment plants. But just sitting here setting up the camera, Mom and her kitten are walking around. I just saw 2 hummingbirds and 3 or 4 butterflies, so I'm excited. Sorry, my windmill thingy-mabob that Mom and I put up yesterday just fell over, so let's go put that back in the ground. But if the pollinators are here, that means that despite everything not looking immaculate, the garden is doing what it's supposed to be doing, which is feeding the wildlife. So let's go take a look. All right, so you can see some things are doing really well, like my roses. The sweet potato vine we planted is doing amazing. Like, it is literally covering the path. Some of the weeds right behind it are doing great too. Bunch of things over here are doing really well. You can see we just got up this sunflower windmill thing that I got, and whatever this wind turbine-y thingy-mabob that Mom got me at an estate sale. I love it, and I think it helps kind of enforce this barrier wall that I'm building out of plants and trees and things. I believe, going to paint the sunflower pink. I like the yellow, but it's just not my thing. Either way, I'm going to go through the arbor. Now, eventually I will get this path done, but y'all, it's apparently going to be a 12-year plan. Mom weeded this rose, but not this one. Go figure. Go figure. Like I said, work in progress. All of my buckets, just ignore all of that. Everything over here is looking good. Oak leaf hydrangea has definitely going to bed for the year, but it is still pretty in the fall with that reddish tint. Oh, there's Mama Cat on the porch. And here is the problem with this path, which is that every time it rains, soil washes down. So every time I get a handle on it and I start getting the weeds out, I start getting the rocks ready to put down, it rains and more soil comes down, which is infuriating. I do hours of work cleaning the bottom of this path, and then it rains and I'm set back to ground zero over and over and over again. Mom thinks I should put up a railroad tie or something to stop the wash of soil down this hill, which I have been avoiding and not wanting to do, but I think I'm going to have to. And then maybe in the future, if I don't need it anymore, I can move it. But at least until I get the path under control, I think I need a barrier. That is honestly why I put those 2 bags of rocks at the top of the arbor to stop sand from coming down here. The only other thing I can do is plant a row of something like monkey grass at the top to help sand from coming down. I think a railroad tie would be less obtrusive. Any other ideas? Leave them in the comments below. All right, now as far as the raised beds go, I have planted my milkweed and Joe Pyeweed right over here in this front bed, and they're doing well. I have a row of, I think, sage behind that that's not doing so well. My sweet petunias, I think, have given up for the season. And my pineapples have not pineappled, but they are still alive, so there's still hope that they will pineapple. Strawberry bed is doing amazing, but the whole reason we're coming down here through the mess, through the craziness, is because my dahlia bed is looking amazing, and I want you guys to see it. We've got a couple of these beautiful ones that are already blooming, and then we've got more that are still putting up buds. I do need to come down and deadhead some of those, but just getting the weeds out of the garden was crazy. And clearly my 2 trellises for my cucumber and watermelon have fallen and been overrun with weeds, so I will have to redo those next season. For this season, we're just going to let them grow, but this is what I need to get a handle on later today, because the zinnias have all fallen in the crazy rain, and so have the cosmos in the crazy rain. And what it has revealed are the bad weeds that have apparently taken over these beds. Look at that. So if you don't know, these weeds are the bad ones, and that is because under each and every leaf are rows of seeds. So even one of those grows, look at this bed, you start to get dozens and hundreds and millions of them. So fortunately, I was going to try to cut the beds back and then let the cosmos and the zinnias regrow for the next bit of the season. But with all those bad weeds being revealed, I am literally just going to rip everything out, put it in trash bags, get rid of it, add some new soil to the beds, toss some seeds in, and if we get new seeds and flowers this season, great. If not, it's worth the sacrifice to not have the bad weeds spread to the rest of the garden, because so far they are contained in these 2 beds. I'm not seeing any in the mulch just yet, but I think that's because the flowers were surrounding them. Now that the flowers have fallen down, the wind will carry the bad seeds elsewhere, and we got to get rid of it before that happens. Quick break to show you that Mama Cat and her kitten have moved up to the yard since I am in the garden. They basically live in my garden. I am working with a rehab vet kind of place the next town over, so that we're going to get them captured and all their vaccines, because they are basically just living out here, and they will not let me handle them, but I need them to be better protected. So my shrimp plant is looking great. My tulip tree and my beauty bush are looking good, but they are very yellow. I think they need some iron, so I'm going to be adding that. I also had pulled a bunch of these weeds out of here, but apparently not all of them. Yay, something else to do. But I wanted to show you that my camellia is blooming. Y'all, it smells so good. I wish I could send you the smell through the screen, but I don't think that that would work. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and pull at least this weed while I'm here. Oh, it's all the way in here. Okay, 2 seconds. I lied. I got them all. They can't live in my shed or in my garden. They're literally as tall as I am. I was only gone for 2 weeks. All right, back to the garden, and a quick reminder that even if they're a little dirty, you can get the cutest salt and pepper shakers all kinds of places, but these are from Cracker Barrel to go on top of your steaks. I have a whole video on it, but these are my ones for fall. You can get them for all different seasons. And y'all, on the other side of my raised beds, my lantana is going insane. And clearly, the butterflies love it. Some zinnias have self-seeded in the path. My Panama rose is doing great. Doesn't have any blooms on it right now, but it clearly did. So all this new growth, I'm sure it will again. But look at the cotton candy rose. I need to deadhead all my roses. And apparently my mom's. Apparently I need some new stuff for these pots. But, you know, we're doing our best. Just focus on the things that are doing well, okay? Okay. This is also on my list of things to handle today. My morning glory vine has outgrown its support and has compensated by climbing my purple pillar. Not what I want. So I'm going to have to cut this baby back and try to get it off the purple pillar so the purple pillar can stand back up straight. The purple pillar is a Rose of Sharon. It is a perennial. I want it to live here and be happy for a very long time, whereas the morning glory was just a fun annual I added. Clearly they can't be next to each other. On the other hand, my mandevilla vine is doing great, but not blooming. And this lantana is also doing great, but not blooming. So I think I'm going to have to fertilize everything here, perhaps. Maybe get some blooms going. Salvia is blooming. My Gora is blooming. So pretty. But I think my coneflowers are done for the season. It is what it is. They were glorious. They are one of those perennials that kind of comes in as glorious once a season. Sometimes they'll bloom in the fall, but clearly not today. So, oh well. I'm going to move some of these into the bed and also in some pots. But for now, we're just glad that Mom took all of the ones that were here. And you can watch those in a video. Speaking of Mom, say hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom.
All right, y'all. Mom is here to help me tie up my clematis that we just planted around the corner. So we will be back with your regularly scheduled garden tour momentarily. All right, it's been a minute, but I'm back. You'll notice that in addition to the clematis, we got all the weeds out of the zinnia and cosmos bed. So that was exciting. Let's finish the tour. This corner has been looking awesome. These fan flowers we put in the spring are looking so good. Going around the curve, and my unplugged pink salvia. This is their second year. They will just keep getting bigger. These are another tender perennial for us here, so hopefully they will keep coming back unless we have a crazy winter. My little coneflower still has buds on it, so I think oh yeah, look, will still bloom for us again this season. And the clematis. So this is a Jackmani clematis, which is a deep purple. And I've planted it here in the center of the porch to come up and climb along the railing, kind of like how my rose is climbing up over here. And here is a space that we planted yesterday. So we planted 1, to 3 porterweeds, which are a really fun plant that I have never really played with before. But you can see they grow straight up, kind of like delphinium or foxglove. These are the peach version. There's also a dark purple. I do have one that I bought about a month ago and is right here in this planter. So I wanted to try them in a couple places in the garden. I've put 3 behind the salvia. I put 2 more salvias, so we have a little river of 5. And then we did recently plant some more fan flowers up here, which are doing well. But I don't know if they will fill all the way in this season. But our Sapphire Falls tree standard keeps flushing in and out of either looking fabulous and blooming or looking half dead like it doesn't get water. We know she does. And of course, my lantana looks amazing, although it is, I guess, in between blooms. So this is the dark pink version. And it gets dark pink and kind of an orangey kind of bloom all over it, like the other lantana. I also have one of my white coneflowers blooming. The other one appears to be done for the season. That's okay. And that leaves us with the front of this garden, where we have our tiny vinca looking so good. So good. I love these here. I may do these here every year. I'm hoping they self-seed like normal vinca, the larger variety does. We've got 2 more of the porterweeds and my Misty Spire salvia looking amazing. Some of my foxglove up in here still look good and will hopefully bloom this spring. It's just looking great. We did plant 2 little rose coneflowers here. I'm going to get a 3rd one for here, since the Sweet Alyssum is just, this is like the 3rd year I've tried it, and it is not loving this spot. So put something else there. Flowers typically do really well in this part of the garden, so they should fill in this space and be a lot happier and lower maintenance. So it's always the goal. Speaking of happy and low maintenance, my Dipladenia and my little egg trellises, I'm so happy with how it is looking right now. Now, it is a small bush instead of a large vine like the mandevilla, but how many more blooms does this have than the mandevilla? The mandevilla has none, so this is perfect. I have been kind of weaving them around, otherwise they will just grow long, stringy kind of arms. This one has apparently escaped, so I just kind of, see if I can do it one-handed. Don't want to snap it. You just kind of gently weave it in. Make sure it's all the way tucked in where it could come out another side. And the blooms will find the sun. So from here, our large hydrangea is putting out buds to bloom again this spring. And while my Supertunia bubblegum is not doing well in the window box, my Silver Falls diachondra is. I think my verbena is done for the season, but I do have a sweet potato vine that's doing well. My powwow coneflower is about to pop again, even though, again, 1, 2, 3, this one always does amazing. The other 2 do not. So if I can find another 2 powwows, I may replace these at some point. But this one gets about 2 feet-ish tall, maybe 3, not quite 3, with blooms. So the ones over there, the rose ones, they get 12 inches. They'll be smaller than this. My mum needs cut back. That is something I'm hopefully going to do today. Did just plant 3 more small morning glory vines. This is the Blue Days, Blew My Mind. So they're not a true morning glory vine, but you can see the 3 I planted this spring are still doing really well. And I cut back the Loreb headlands so they get more sun. These didn't have any blooms, probably because they were under the Loreb headland a little too much. Lantana down here doing really well. This is the same light yellow and pink from around the corner. Some of my Gara starting to Gara. Mom just got me this thing. I do like it. She stuck it here. I don't know that I like it this close to the bird bath, so I think I'll be moving it, but we'll see. I also think I may be taking this Lantana out. It's actually looking how I want it to, which is like a ground cover, but it's not blooming. It hasn't bloomed in a hot minute, like 2 years. And I did plant a whole swath of daylilies up here. You could see a few of them this spring, and I'm afraid it is going to smother them. Oh, kitten, come be my baby. He does not want to play with me. Mommy Cat's under the loropetalum, and now he's behind the loropetalum. I'm going to make him love me. If Mommy Cat wants to be an outside cat, I'll keep taking care of her out here, but I'm gonna get him, and I'm gonna love him. Apparently there is a helicopter, so I hope y'all can hear me. I don't know if y'all saw any of that. I think I filmed exactly when it was going behind the trees. But my impatiens are finally starting to fill in and look really good. I probably should come and fertilize some of these. Unfortunately, only one of my 3 heucheras is doing well, but I have some really funny looking mushrooms kind of all over back here, which I don't love, but mushrooms typically mean your soil is good, so I'll leave it. Hidden ginger doing really well. The hidden ginger I planted over here, though, is still blooming. So I'm very happy with that. My peony and my, what is this? Lenten rose are doing well. When I planted the Lenten rose here, I thought that peony had died, so I am going to have to move one of them. They can't be this close together. Yay! My begonias, I think, are done begonioing, but don't worry, we have some weeds that will take over for the begonias. And my favorite time of year, cyclamen time, when the little fairies come up. So, cyclamen are a tropical plant that most people grow as a house plant, but since we are fairly tropical here, they can grow in the shade. They grow as tubers, so I planted a whole bunch of tubers or corms around this tree. They come up every fall and bloom, and then the foliage will come up and you'll have a pretty kind of almost ivy-like leaf all around. I love them. I have 3 different colors. So the short purple will come up, then a white, slightly taller, and then a pink. They're gorgeous. They will naturalize, so I just leave them all around this tree. Is my begonias, and I always worry, so they're probably